The crystalline spires of the Valthori capital gleamed under three suns, their light refracting through the towers in cascades of violet and gold. Princess Bella stood on the observation deck of the grand citadel, her translucent wings folding gracefully against her back as she gazed out at the ruins that still scarred the horizon. 5 cycles had passed since the Drakmar invasion had nearly consumed their world, and though reconstruction continued, the memory of those dark days remained fresh. "Your Highness," her advisor Surix approached, his antennae twitching with nervousness. "The human representative has arrived for the ceremony." Bella's triple-lidded eyes narrowed. "Representative, I requested the warrior himself, the one they call Leo." "He insists he is merely a representative, my lady. He says the real heroes were those who didn't return." A familiar evasion. Bella had encountered human humility before, but this was different. The being who had turned the tide of an unwinnable war, who had done what entire fleets of Valthori warriors could not, deserved recognition. More than that, she needed to understand how he had done it. She made her way to the reception hall, her royal guards flanking her in ceremonial formation. The chamber was vast, designed to accommodate the various species of the Galactic Coalition, but the human standing at its center seemed somehow to fill the space with his presence despite his relatively modest stature. Leo was unremarkable by Coalition standards. No wings, no exoskeleton, no natural armor or weapons. He stood perhaps 2 meters tall, with dark hair that fell across his forehead and eyes the color of Earth's oceans, a planet Bella had only seen in holocordings. He wore simple civilian clothing rather than military dress, and his posture was relaxed, almost casual. "Princess Bella," he said, offering a slight bow, "it's an honor." "The honor is mine, Warrior Leo," Bella replied, descending the steps from her dais, "though I'm told you reject that title." A ghost of a smile crossed his face. "I was a soldier, the war is over, now I'm just Leo." "Just Leo," Bella repeated, circling him slowly. Her sensory tendrils extended slightly, reading his biometric data. His heart rate was calm, his temperature normal for a human, no signs of deception or discomfort. Just Leo, who single-handedly destroyed the Drakmar command ship. Just Leo, who held the Karvath Pass for 16 days against impossible odds. Just Leo, who taught our tacticians strategies they'd never conceived in 10,000 years of warfare. "I had help," Leo said simply. "Your people fought bravely, I just provided a different perspective." Bella stopped in front of him, her wings extending to their full span, a display of authority. "I have read every report, watched every recording. The Drakmar had conquered 47 worlds before reaching Valthor. They had never been stopped. Our coalition forces were retreating on every front. Then Earth sent you, one human, and within 6 months the Drakmar were in full retreat. Within a year they sued for peace. I need to understand how." Leo met her gaze steadily. "May I speak freely, Your Highness?" "I insist upon it." He gestured toward the windows overlooking the city. "Your people are incredible. You've built a civilization based on harmony, cooperation, and logic. You've achieved wonders of technology and culture, but you'd never fought something like the Drakmar before." "They were brutal, efficient, ruthless," Bella acknowledged. "They were predators," Leo corrected gently. "And you'd forgotten what that meant. The coalition had been at peace for so long that war had become theoretical, a matter of strategy and calculation. You fought like scientists conducting an experiment." Bella's wings rippled with indignation. "And humans fight differently." "We fight like we're still trying to survive," Leo said, his voice quiet but firm. "Earth never had the luxury of forgetting what predators are like. We were predators. Still are in some ways. We understand fear, desperation, and the willingness to do whatever it takes to protect what matters." He walked toward the window and Bella found herself following. "At Karvath Pass, your generals wanted to retreat. The tactical analysis showed a 97% probability of defeat. By all logical calculations, withdrawal was correct." "But you stayed," Bella said. I stayed because sometimes logic doesn't account for will, for spite, for the sheer bloody-minded refusal to give up what's yours. His jaw tightened. The Drachmer expected you to behave rationally. I taught them that humans don't always do what's expected. You fought irrationally. I fought emotionally, Leo corrected. There's a difference. Every human soldier knows that feeling, when the odds don't matter anymore because you've got something worth protecting behind you. The Drachmer had conquered dozens of species that fought logically, efficiently. They'd never faced an enemy that fought with desperation and hope in equal measure. Bella processed this, her analytical mind working through the implications. The command ship, you infiltrated it alone. Leo's expression darkened. That's classified. I am the heir to the Valthori throne. I have clearance for everything. He turned to face her fully. Then you know I didn't infiltrate it alone. I took volunteers, 12 of your people and 3 humans from my unit. Only 4 of us made it out. The pain in his voice was unmistakable. Bella's wings lowered slightly, a gesture of compassion. The report said you led the mission. I did, and I watched good people die because I convinced them it could work. That's why I'm not a warrior anymore, Your Highness. Warriors are supposed to win glory. I just wanted to stop people from dying. You saved billions, Bella said softly. I know the exact number of people who died under my command, Leo replied. 83. I remember all their names. The chamber fell silent except for the distant hum of the city's power grid. Bella realized she was seeing something the reports had never captured, the cost of human warfare. They didn't just fight with emotion, they carried the weight of every loss. Why did you come today? She asked. If you've left military service, you could have refused the invitation. Leo managed a small smile. Because you deserve answers, because your people fought alongside us and earned respect, and because, he hesitated, someone told me that the Princess of Valthor was brilliant, compassionate, and relentless in pursuit of knowledge. I thought she deserved to know the truth rather than the legend. Bella felt her bioluminescent pattern shift, a response she couldn't fully control. And what is the truth, Leo? That humans aren't special because we're stronger or smarter. We're special because Earth taught us that survival means adapting, fighting, and never giving up, even when logic says we should. We've been underdogs for our entire evolutionary history. That makes us dangerous, yes, but it also makes us loyal allies and stubborn friends. He reached into his jacket and pulled out a small data crystal. This contains everything I learned during the war, tactical analyses, psychological profiles of the Drachmer, strategies that worked and ones that failed. I was going to present it at the ceremony, but I'd rather give it to you directly, not as a warrior to a princess, but as one person who cares about peace to another. Bella accepted the crystal, her fingers brushing his briefly. His skin was warm, so different from her own crystalline biology. The coalition wants to recruit more humans for the defense forces. I know, and some will volunteer, but understand something, Princess. We don't want to be your warriors, we want to be your partners. We've seen what happens when species are valued only for what they can destroy. Is that why you're here? Bella asked, understanding dawning. To make sure we see humans as more than weapons. I'm here because I saw your people fight for their homes with everything they had, Leo said. I saw scientists pick up weapons they'd never trained with. I saw artists calculating firing solutions. I saw a species that valued life above all else choose to fight because the alternative was extinction. That's courage, Your Highness. The kind that doesn't come from evolution or desperation, it comes from choice. Bella's wings fully extended, then folded in the traditional Valthori gesture of deep respect. You honor us. You honored yourselves, I just helped even the odds. Leo glanced at the chronometer on his wrist. I should go. I have a transport back to Earth in a few hours. Will you return to Valthor? He considered the question. Maybe, if I'm invited, not as a warrior though. Then as what? Leo's smile was genuine this time. "How about as a friend?" Bella found herself returning the expression, a human gesture she'd learned during the war. "I would like that, just Leo." As he turned to leave, Bella called out one last question. "What will you do now, on Earth?" He paused at the doorway. "I'm going to be a teacher, history and tactics. Someone needs to make sure the next generation understands that war should always be the last option, but when it comes, you fight for what matters. And what matters most." Leo looked back at her, his ocean-colored eyes reflecting the three-sunned light. "The people beside you, the homes behind you, the future ahead of you, everything else is just details." After he left, Bella stood alone in the reception hall, the date a crystal warm in her palm. She understood now why the Drachmer had retreated. They'd encountered something they couldn't calculate or predict, humanity's stubborn refusal to accept defeat, born from millions of years of survival against impossible odds. The ceremony that evening went as planned. Bella presented the Coalition Medal of Valor to Leo, who accepted it with quiet dignity. But the real exchange had already happened in a quiet chamber, where a princess learned that strength came in many forms, and the most dangerous warriors were often those who fought not for glory, but for peace. As Earth's ship departed into the star-studded darkness, Bella made a decision. The Coalition would accept humanity not as mercenaries or weapons, but as equals. Because any species that could win a war and still choose compassion deserved a place among the stars. And perhaps, she thought, friendship with a people who fought like cornered predators but dreamed like poets was exactly what the galaxy needed.